Alright, so here is the MPP and APP practice worksheet that I had on there, and I don't need to see this one. This is just going to be a little bit of practice to kind of get our feet wet as far as putting the formulas into a chart and graphing from those formulas. So what I've done is I've done the calculations already, and what we're doing for marginal physical product is the change in output divided by the change in input. And I found that when I do these charts and I put the formula immediately above the box that I'm going to put these in, that it seems to help me remember what I'm doing. So if you're having a little bit of trouble, I would suggest trying that. And so what I've done is I've gone 3 minus 1 divided by 16 minus 10 to get 0.33. And if you'll notice that these values are going to end up being the same values as the ones from the lecture notes. So go ahead and make sure that you're trying these calculations so that you can get to these numbers. Don't just copy and put them in here. And the second step, after you got the numbers, is to graph them. So when we graph marginal physical product and average physical product, what we're going to do is we're trying to show MPP and APP in relation to input, which in this case is our labor. So when we do that, sometimes these numbers will work out so that it's really easy to see what you should put on these axes. Other times you might just have to make a guess. Sometimes it's best to just put the lowest number down at the bottom and the highest number at the top and then connect the two. You can do some sort of mathematical formula as far as adding the highest number to the lowest number and dividing by the number of ticks, or this will be the only chart that I give you that has a graph for you already done. So on the other ones you can kind of make your own if you want to go up by specific margins or whatnot. Graph paper might also come in handy if you want to get yourself some graph paper. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a negative 0.2 here, make that one be 0, and I'm going to go up by 2 each time. And I'm probably not going to use that top one. And then across the bottom, what's probably the easiest to do is to just take your labor column and transpose that down here. So 10, 16, 20, 22, 26. And what this is I know some people it's going to drive nuts because it doesn't go up by specific increments, and if you're one of those people, go ahead and make it go up by specific increments if you need to do that. But then what we're going to do is we're going to plot these points in relation to each other. So if we look at the first MPP, occurs between 10 and 16, and that value is a 0.33. So between 10 and 16, you're going to put a dot at 0.33. Between 16 and 20, you're going to put a dot at 0.45. And so on and so forth as you go all the way up and down. And then you're going to do the same thing for APP, only APP is going to occur at 10. So at 10, as it shows on your chart, we would be at 0.1. At 16, we're going to be at 0.19. At 20, we're going to be at 0.24. And so on and so forth. So plot out all your dots and then connect them. So draw lines and connect them. And when you're all done, it's going to look like this. So you should have a marginal physical product curve that comes to a point, and then it goes negative. So note that this last part here, where it goes negative, is important. Your average physical product curve, when you plot it, should look like the frowny face that I talked about.